welcome back to ACL's online book club. I'm Jackie and we are here today to finish our discussion on Mixtape by Jane Sanderson. So please don't watch this until you've actually read the book, because we will be talking about the end of the novel and I don't want you to have any spoilers. So in the last instalment last week I talked about the characters, the development of the characters, and what's been going on with them and how they use music via this idea of a mixtape in the beginning when they're younger, and then via Twitter to send songs to each other when later on in their lives. Today I would like to very much talk about the relationships, the other relationships that are quite key in the story, and something that I think is a really important aspect of this story. It wasn't just about Dan and Alison, but there were lots of other people that were involved with them as well. First of all, Alison had two ladies, Dora and Sheila, that she relied upon, almost like a mother figure in a way, or mother figures, because of her relationship with her own mother. And they are somebody that she goes to for support and for guidance, and particularly with her daughter. They live in the outback in Australia. And I really like the relationship she has with them. She feels that she can go to them for a very non-judgmental guidance and support, and that's exactly what they give her. They give it to her exactly when she needs it. So I really like that relationship in the story. The other relationship that was one of the most important ones was the relationship between Alison and her brother. So her brother very much looked out for her in the family situation. And I found it really tragic the way their lives were split apart so badly because of the one very traumatic experience that Alison had suffered at the hands of her mother's boyfriend. And I think it's really important how her brother had looked out for her, but she has to leave, and she doesn't get back in touch with him until she gets back with Dan, and she's over in England. And I think it's one of the really lovely parts of the story. She's obviously a very successful writer in the story. He has a job as a hospital porter. He lives in this one-bedroom flat. And he says, I don't want you to change me, I'm just happy that you're back in my life. And there's a really heartwarming moment where they finally reconnect, and he doesn't blame her for leaving him, not being in touch with him. And I think that's lovely. It just shows how strong that relationship was between the two of them. Despite the fact that she'd been gone however many years, he doesn't hold any animosity towards her. He always wanted her to live her life and to be safe, and so I think that's a really lovely relationship. The other relationship that for me was the one that really caught my attention was between Alison and Dan's father. So when she is younger and she and Dan start going out with each other, and she goes round, she finds it a real sanctuary to go round to Dan's house. It's like the home she's never had, a very normal family, a very loving family. And she gets on really well with Dan's father. She goes and helps him with his pigeons, kind of almost much to everyone else's, shock. And they really, really connect. And then obviously she disappears. And the next time we see Dan's father is when he is round at Dan and his wife's house, and he doesn't speak, he doesn't say anything, he doesn't communicate with the family or with anybody else. So when Alison and Dan get back together and she goes to see him, she goes up to his room. It was the one moment in the story that made me really cry. He completely remembered her. He starts speaking to her, and the connection is there straight away between the two of them. And he is so happy that she's back in their lives and in his life. And I think it's one of the most heartwarming parts of this story. I really do. I think it's a really lovely, special moment, and it really made me really quite emotional. So I think those were some of the most important relationships. Obviously, Dan has key relationships as well, particularly with the boat people, and I think that was quite a fun side. And it's almost like Dan has these two very different lives. He had the life with his wife and his child, and then he has this other life where he's living on the boat. It's very kind of free life. But I enjoyed that side. I like the camaraderie between all of those characters as well. So I don't have very much more to say. I hope you really enjoyed reading the story as well. I enjoyed the story. I should be looking out for other books by this author. So I hope you carry on reading. I think there's going to be another book club coming up shortly with ACL. So keep reading. And I've really enjoyed doing this. And I'm sure I'll be seeing you in one of the other book clubs. If you ever have any questions, please add them to the website or on the Facebook page, and I'll be more than happy to discuss them with you. Thank you. Stay safe. Bye.